Um, my real name is Tammy, but they call me Mama T out here. My son's best friend called me that back when they were 13 and 14, and they're 33 now. One of the main reasons I got this happening is because I think Burlington needs a little help on some changes, some good changes, positive changes. And the only way we can make changes is to come together, not to battle each other on them, to compromise and talk. And I don't think there's been a lot of talk. I don't think people have been getting or even willing to get to know each other. I think it's easier sometimes to just run away and hide. I don't want to run away and hide anymore. I'm human. I have feelings. I'm a person, just like you. There are a lot of I'm not good with words, so forgive me. But there is a lot of confusion, I think, sometimes about who we are as homeless people. And one thing I'm going to say is we're just like you, okay? We bleed the same. We all have heart, no matter what, okay? We're not perfect. Unlike you all, you're not perfect, okay? We do the very best we can. We have been given probably the biggest challenge of anybody's life. Do you think it is easy to walk these streets every day and be homeless with no roof to hide from the elements, with no place to go when somebody has downed you or made you feel belittled? You're standing there with a loss. You can't go home and cry and be in your rooms and feel, oh, I'm safe now. No, we're still out here getting ready to face the next person who might do the same thing to us, okay? It is not easy. It's not easy supporting a home either. It is very amazing that given today's economy, the way everything is, the way the prices go up, but our jobs and our checks do not. It is hard to live the lives we're living today for our children, for our grandchildren, for ourselves. Seems like every day we're working just to pay bills. What, to enjoy life? What's that? You know? I can remember back years ago when I was a kid and lived in Burlington. Going to the lake was a blast. Now we're scared to put our feet in there, afraid we're going to get sick. It's amazing, okay? I want to make changes or help make changes that we're all going to be happy with. I think sometimes that people are scared of each other, so they don't know how to start a conversation. They don't know what to say to us because we're out here homeless. Some choose it, yes, but a lot of us didn't. A lot of us had unfortunate events that happened in our lives that put us out here. And I don't mind telling you my story. I lived in Jersey City with my stepdad. We shared the bills together because neither one of us could afford it on our own. And my stepdad needed his health to be taken care of. He didn't want to be put in some home. So I took it on and said, okay, I'm not going to put you there. So we lived together, shared the bills. He came down with Parkinson's disease. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but if you don't fight it, it will kick your butt real quick and make it so you can't walk, you can't do really anything. He got it, he died very quickly from it, which then I was not prepared at all, okay? Like I said, we shared the bills. Once he was gone, I didn't even realize. I hadn't gotten out, not even remotely enough to get to know people. So that maybe one day I could maybe have somebody move in and take over his portion of the bills. So here I was with an apartment, $900 a month. Gas and electricity was over $200. I got $741 a month in my SSI. Didn't even make the rent. I didn't know what to do. He was all I had left for family, in the aspect of support and being able to financially be together and help each other. Okay, so then I was alone when he left me. I had two choices. Boy, what choices? Oh, thousands have extremely bad rental credit, not be able to rent again probably, because what do they do now? They check your credit. You don't have good credit, what happens? You don't get to rent. You're in trouble. Apartments are hard to find as it is. The second one was to come out here and hope and pray somebody was out here to help me find something I could afford with my income. Or maybe set me in a roommate situation where I could help somebody else and somebody could help me. We could have a roof over our heads. Unfortunately, it is taking so far a little over 8 years, and I still have not been able to do this. I moved in with one lady in this town, found out in a hard way that she wasn't in the same mode I was. She was stealing from me my mail. So guess what? Not only was I in a situation where if I had to leave, I was gonna be in trouble because I've made very little income. Well, my SSI got shut off. I didn't know why. I called them. They had been sending me letters for weeks, for a couple of months, for a review. Guess what? I hadn't been getting any of them. She was stealing my mail. They said they wanted me to report her to get it back. I spoke to the young lady. 3 days later, she overdoses and dies on me. What was I to do? I didn't know what to do. I ended up out here. The apartment was in her name. They wouldn't let me stay there. It was over. I was out here. And no money to get another place by myself or anything. So once again, I'm on this road to trying to find a way to get a home of my own again, or to at least have a roof over my head, whether it's a one room or what. And it's been the hardest 7 to 8 years that I think I've ever been in my life. My children worry about me every day, but they are in no position to help me. I have grandchildren and had a terminally ill child, which is why I came back here in the first place, thinking maybe it'd be a little easier here. It wasn't. My grandchild passed away last year of lissencephaly, which is smooth brain. My son and daughter want to see the best for me as I want to see for them. They're grown and I'm grown. I do not expect them to take care of me. I'm not in a mode where I have to have that happen yet. So I want them to live happy lives and go on. We keep in contact. They know I'm okay. It is not easy for any woman to be out here homeless. We try every day. I'm a good-hearted person. I say hi and good morning to people every day. But do you know what I get back? See you later. They don't even say that. They just keep walking. Or they look at me like I have 3 heads. Why am I saying good morning to them? People are lost and confused that we're not human. That we must be some disease person or people or machines. I don't know what they think we are. But I do tell you that one thing that they said in the 7 days last week that hurt my heart, because my homeless people are my family. They're all I have. They said we are the plague. We are not the plague. We have heart. We have feelings. We bleed the same. We have fingers and toes and some don't. Some have some missing due to events in their lives that have happened. They struggle every day like I struggle to want somebody to care, to just say good morning, or to come out and spend maybe 5 minutes to get to know us. And no, we are not out here to hurt any of you. We are just like you. We just don't have the four walls and the roof over our heads. Some of the homeless people work like you guys work. Some are on disability because they have disabilities. We want to be considered human and like people just like you. I think it's terrible that people walk around and treat us like we've got a disease. Do you want me to tell you something? Any person who has a home and lives in there every day and showers every day is more susceptible to a disease and any illness than we are as homeless people out here. Do you know why? Because you're constantly taking the skin that protects you off of you. Okay? We live out here, but gosh, we'll probably be the last ones to get a illness or a disease that comes through because we're not able to shower every single day like you. Okay? So you're more susceptible to these diseases than we are. Do we judge you? Do we say, oh, stay away from them because they probably got something? No. We care and like people. Some of us don't like people, want to be left alone. But I'll guarantee you there are people who have roofs over their heads and four walls that want to be left alone too and don't really care for a lot of people to be around them. There is nothing different about us than there is about you, except for the walls in the roof. Okay? I want people to understand that. That, yes, people out here do drugs and alcohol, but I will guarantee you a whole hell of a lot of people who have roofs and walls do the same thing. The only difference is you can see us. We ain't got nothing hiding us. But y'all got roofs and walls that can hide you. And you guys can run in a corner and say, haha, you don't see what I'm doing. But we cannot do that. Okay? Do we like that you see us doing whatever or no? I'll tell you what. I'm an addict. Okay? And I actually do speak to some of them and say, whatever you do, just don't do it in their face, like to offend them or disrespect them, because they may not do things and not like it. Okay? So I will say something to them, and I will try to tell them to turn themselves or make it so that you all can't see them in a sense, so that way you're respected. Because you may not do it or like it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes things are done in order to handle life. Things that we, in another sense, don't know how to handle. Okay? I don't have small children anymore. I'm a grown woman by myself with no big, humongous responsibility. So I can do what I want to do. That is my choice, okay? And I respect anybody who does not do any of it. I don't drink. I haven't drank in over 20 years. Do I do a drug? Yes, I do. I am not perfect, by far. And sometimes it helps me get through my days. Would I like to be able to find another way to deal with this life? Yes. But at the same time, am I ready right now? No, I'm not. Because I know I'm still going to be out here for a little while. One day, may God see that this happens and helps me. I may not ever do it again. But for now, that's what I do. But I don't hurt people, nor do I steal from people or anything or do it in people's faces. That doesn't do it. I respect you all. And I think it's wonderful that you have not had to deal with any of this stuff. Okay? But don't get it messed up for 1 second. You could lose your home any day. Whether it be that the landlord ups your rent, and guess what? Your checks don't cut it. Okay? A fire, a pipe could burst, gas pipe, whatever, there goes your home, up in the air. You don't have anybody, no family, no anybody to help you to have a place to live, you could be out here, okay? So just remember that we all care in one way or another, in our own ways, just like you. We are not perfect and never going to be perfect. Please don't ask us to be, because you'll be extremely disappointed, as we would be disappointed if we expected you to be perfect, okay? I want to see changes. I want to see, and I bet you all do too, the needles and the garbage to stop being on the ground, where, especially needles, where our children and grandchildren walk the streets. I want to be not afraid anymore to have my grandchildren or children walk around on the streets barefoot. I used to be able to do that so much when I was a little kid. I don't ever see anybody without shoes on anymore. Not at all. It's saddening. When we used to go out and jump around in the rain and play in the rain with no shoes on. Of course we had clothes on, but we had a blast out in that rain. I don't see that anymore. It's saddening. I'm going to try to help and work with my homeless family on getting this done. But you ever heard of a child, a defiant child that the only way that child's ever learned how to get attention is by being bad? That's the only time a parent or somebody will pay attention to them is when they're bad? Okay. Well, they have learned that the only time they're going to get attention is when they do something wrong. So what are they going to do when they want attention? They're going to do something bad. Why? Because by golly, whether it's bad or good, you're going to pay attention to that child. Okay? Well, let me tell you something. A lot of these homeless folks are young and have young hearts and young brains. And they think just like that. A lot of them also say, you don't care about them, so why should they care about you? They don't have their homes to go home to and beat on their pillows and break their toys or yell and scream. This is their home, out here. This is where they have to do that. So, well, the only time anybody pays attention to them is when they do something bad, right? Well, if we want good out of a person, even a child, then we have to show them and tell them when they're doing good. If they threw a piece of garbage in that garbage, hey, good job. Thank you for throwing that in the garbage instead of throwing that on our floor. It's as quick as that. And that child, I bet you from that moment on, is going to run and throw their garbage in that garbage because you paid attention to them and you praised them and you showed them you cared about what they were doing was good. Same thing out here with these people. They are wonderful with great hearts, but if you're mean and nasty to them, they're going to find a way to be mean and nasty back. It's because that's how they've been taught, okay? The public has taught them that they're not human. They don't have heart. They don't have feelings. By ignoring them when they say hi, ignoring them when they say good morning, ignoring them when they ask them a question, or just want to have a little conversation with somebody to know that they exist. As long as we are negative to each other, that's what we're going to get back. We cannot have a good Burlington or South Burlington like that, or any of these other small towns. We're going to constantly be fighting and battling against one another. And I'll tell you what, 2 years ago, it wasn't like this. It might have been a little, but it was nowhere near as bad as it is now. And it's only going to get worse if we don't do something about it. If we don't help each other and show each other that we are all important and exist as people with feeling and heart, then this will get worse. Burlington will flip upside down and look worse. No offense, But I'll tell you what, I would rather be in New Jersey right now than be here. Because down there, we treat each other like family. The non-homeless and homeless care about each other because they know that it could happen to them. There are some really rough areas in New Jersey and in New York. Vermont is, I don't know how to explain it. It's got a lot of beautiful land. It's kind of a Richie type of state, Vermont is. And there's not what they call hoods like there is in New York and New Jersey. All right? People don't really grow up as rough, I don't think, sometimes as they do in New Jersey. Yes, there are some families that do grow up rough like them. But do y'all see it? No. Because people have learned how to hide it. My family, my dad was the biggest abuser and drunk you can ever imagine. And he worked for the police department in Burlington. He got fired because he showed up at work drunk. But he abused us kids and my mom unbelievably. We had a really horrible childhood. Did I or have I ever treated my children like that? No. Because I knew it was wrong. It wasn't right. Okay? A lot more kids and families outside of Vermont live in some really big cities and have it really rough too. Okay? And it's seen a lot more than it is here because there's a lot more people. Okay? Not as easy to hide it. Okay? We got a lot of country. People can have houses. And I lived on 29 acres. And there was only one 4-bedroom cabin house on that 29 acres. Do you think anybody could see anything that was going on? Hell no. Okay? Just think about what I'm saying and try to. It takes one person to make a change. Okay? To smile and say good morning. I told the pastor over there at the Red Door Church one day that 5 minutes out of your time to come out and say hi. You know, ask the people what happened. Okay? Think about your families, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your parents. How would you want them to be treated if they were out here? Okay? Would you want people to spit on them or acknowledge them as a plague? In 7 days on the front page, it says Burlington's being plagued by the homeless and drugs and alcohol. Are you kidding me? We are now the plague? Huh. Well, like I said a few minutes ago, the ones with roofs and walls have more chances of getting diseases than we are. Don't that make them look silly? So they can be the plague, not us. What? Excuse me? 7 days. I didn't see who wrote it. I just saw what it said. That was enough for me. I know that it came on the front page of the 7 days of last week's issue. It's sad that people think of us like that. We are not. We're out here because we don't have a roof and 4 walls. A lot of us cannot afford it. Have a lot of us talked about possibly getting something together so we could get off the street? Yes. But then guess what? We all get in little spats or little arguments because we're stressed out and tired. It becomes nil and void again. Things happen, okay? I want people to be happy. My homeless family, as well as the ones that aren't my family that have homes, okay? It doesn't take but a second or a minute to walk up to one of us and say hi. How you doing today? You know? Or even if you think you can help with anything, to offer your help. A lot of us would do that for you. If we thought you would accept our help in any type of way, I guarantee you, we would do that for you. Okay? I told the pastor, show them you care. Come talk to us now and then and say hi and ask how we're doing and stuff, and watch that yard become like gold. They will clean it up and they will take care of it, and anybody to disrespect it, they will be quick to say, hey, wait a minute. No, not here. We cleaned this. We made this like this. And it's going to stay like this because they care about us and we care about them. Okay? Same thing with your yards. If people have yards, you have to work 6, 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, and you're too tired, I guarantee you, some of these people would be more than happy to help. Yes, because sometimes, even on our disabilities, we look for things to do. To know that we still exist, that we are capable of still doing something, and to help people, because we like people. Yes, like I said, there are some that just don't like people and don't want nothing to do with it. There's nothing wrong with that. That is that person's prerogative, and that's who they are. As long as they're not hurting you or just vandalizing or being destructive or belligerent to anybody, then they can be that way. We should be allowed to be our individual selves and not be condemned for that. We're being condemned because we had unfortunate events happen. Is that fair? No. That'd be like us judging all of you, okay? Having clothes that don't really go together. We could judge you all on that. Shit. But we don't. Because that's who you are. That's what you like. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? And that's us, too. We each are individual own selves. Each one of us has a technique or an ability that nobody else has. That can be helpful, maybe, to you or to you. But it may not be helpful to you guys. Okay? But it doesn't mean that they're bad people. Okay? Give the homeless a chance. Give yourselves a chance. You can make a lifetime friend or buddy to go fishing with, to go skiing with, to go see a movie you haven't seen in years. Anything, to just walk down the street or go to the lake and walk down by the water. Okay? You could have the best friend ever, as we could. Okay? Give yourselves and us a chance. Don't be afraid to ask what happened. Will everybody tell you? No, absolutely not. Don't be upset. Don't be mad. It's because they don't know how. They don't know how to bring it out and say, this is what happened to me. Or it may be so bad, so traumatic, that it will bring up things for them that they don't want. We have to respect that. Just like with all of you. If you had things that happened to you, because I'll be like, hey, how were you? How's your life, you know? What did you do? Who are you? Doesn't mean you're going to want to tell me. It could bring up something that is not wanted. That is okay that you don't want to. But it's also okay that you want to. But be prepared either way. Don't be angry and upset because a person doesn't want to tell you. Just know it may be just way too traumatic for them to tell you. Okay? So don't forget, we've all had something happen that helped put us out here. Some of them like it. Don't get it messed up. Some of them really like it. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I was homeless probably for a good 4.5 years before I moved in with that girl. And I was scared to death. And believe it or not, for the first 4 months that I stayed with her, I was running out that door every chance I got because I didn't feel comfortable inside anymore. I was so used to having so much room to move and breathe that when I was in there, I was feeling claustrophobic. I was feeling like I was confined and stuck and couldn't move or breathe. So I had to run out that door because this became so comfortable and familiar and good for me. Okay? There is nothing wrong with outside. You all love to get outside when it's beautiful out, right? Okay, so do we. You don't like it when it rains or it snows with ice and all of that. We don't like it either, okay? Some people, although on the other hand, do like it. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that, okay? We're human. Were we born with a manual? Absolutely not. We weren't. Every day is a live and learn. And that's my motto. Live to learn and learn to live. If you're not doing either, you're just existing. And that's not a life. I bet you every day, if y'all paid attention, you could say, I learned something new today. Every day I learn something new. I'm 56 years old. I still learn new things every day. And so do all of you. You just gotta be willing to identify it and go with it. You may not like the new thing you learned, like that bug looks really gross, it's yellow and orange, you know, with funky legs, 20,000 legs. It's okay. But then we got this little guy over here that loves that funky bug, okay? We are just human beings. Every day, trying to find out where we fit in. What are we out here for? Or what are we inside for? Why can't we go outside? I bet you there's a few people that, maybe none of you, but a few people that lives in homes that have the roof and the four walls that say, God, I wish I could go out there and live outside. I don't like being in here and paying all these bills. I want to go outside, live. Well, let me tell you something. It has its perks, but it definitely has its downs, okay? Be grateful. I mean, unbelievably grateful that you all have that roof, that place to go to at the end of the night and rest your eyes, rest your body, your soul, your hearts. Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of us that don't get that rest. Let me tell you something. We just found out about a new app on the computer. This app consists of young people, don't know who they are right now, okay? We're slowly finding out. They go up on this parking garage over here, on the 5th floor, okay? They grab things, anything, to throw at us. Not you people with homes, with roofs and walls, but us homeless people, okay? And whatever they hit us with, wherever they hit us, however hard they hit us, how bad we get hurt, depends on how many points they get. And after getting those points, they earn so many points, guess what? They get rewards. They get to buy stuff on the internet for earning these points for hitting us with objects. Bottles, glasses, eggs, anything. A young kid got smashed in the face, he was homeless, with a shake. A McDonald's shake. The kid who hit him in the face with it got mad points. Got to buy a gift card on the internet with it. That is the sickest, unbelievable, rottenest thing I've ever heard of in my life. It is horrible. It's awful cruel. We are human, and we have feelings, and we have a heart, just like all of you. It is sad that people are that god darn bored that they've got to come up with something so horrific like that. It disgusts me, makes me very sick to my stomach. I am so grateful my son is 33, my daughter's 27, and they don't friggin' live here. And I don't want them here because I wouldn't want my grandchildren to grow up to learn of anything such. I'll tell you what, my grandchildren wouldn't even be part of it. It's not okay that that's being done, okay? It's not. We bleed the same as you. We cry like you. We have feelings like you. We are people. We're not objects. We're not just a freaking, I don't know, a toy you can play with whenever you want. Okay? Yes, I will. I will, right after this. Okay?
Thank you.
I'm asking for your help to let people know this stuff's not okay. Okay? That you would not want that to be done to you. Okay? It's hurtful. And I'm telling you, it's becoming a bad thing. Because not only are you hurting us, but there's going to be a war. A war that nobody's going to like in Burlington. And that's going to be between the homeless and those people who are hurting us. That's not okay, because what do you think's going to happen? People are going to get really badly hurt. Both sides. Not just one side, both sides. It needs to stop. It's not okay. And will never be okay. Okay? Other people want to talk. I am so grateful again for all of you to come here and listen. I was scared to death. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I hope I've done something to help make some changes around here. Okay? And I will look forward to seeing all of you. Yeah. That very much. I'm just a person who wants nothing but for everybody to live happily.